GM. GM, 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 GM. Monday, 5th of Feb. Let's do daily levels. So, Bitcoin starting off the week with a nice reversal here. The more I look at this and the more price compresses here, the more I'm convinced we just go higher. Very simple. I think that this trend up into the consolidation is going to lead to at least attacking those highs. So we probably touch 44. Maybe it rejects from there. Maybe it pushes higher, but I just don't see that this consolidation is going to break down from here. I think it's going to continue holding. And if you were waiting for another chance to buy, you got another chance to buy last night at this consolidation low, at the lows. And I think from here it just goes straight for the highs if it's actually squeezing, which we'll take a look at here. Big spike up in open interest, funding rates. We'll just look on Bitcoin and some CVDs. Yeah, going into in the weekend, going in Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, funding was getting super negative, or getting close to negative, I should say. While the spot bid has remained pretty solid all the way up here, not much change in it, and really all this month, but certainly all weekend, the sell pressure was coming from perps, and now it's starting to push higher. I think this wants to take out those highs. To me, it seems like price should just go straight for them. But if that happens, if it goes straight there, it might lead to a false breakout, right? And then you have to set up another higher low. Right? I could see that happening on one path. Or it just continues to consolidate and kind of grinds its way higher, at which point I'd expect more of a breakout. But regardless, I think the move up is what's coming first. I just look at this and I don't see why it wouldn't continue higher from here in the short term. To me, if it was going to break down, it would already have broken down. It seems to be following the same path it has been, which is just making progressively higher lows. And this has been a consistent theme on Bitcoin all the way across, really since October. It keeps making higher lows within these consolidations, and even here we had that first sell-off. It was higher low, higher low, higher low. We got a sweep there, then a higher low, and so price still seems to be following the same rough type of price patterns, where I think Bitcoin is getting accumulated. I'm not saying it can't go down. It absolutely can. It will. I think we go down here, but I think we go up first, probably grab some liquidity, then flush down into a proper reset, and then away it goes for new highs. I think with this, a lot of people are still hesitant and not feeling, people aren't feeling aggressive. They're not feeling confident, which is all good. This is all good stuff for us as traders. Because like we saw here, you have your rally up and then you get the first sell-off, but then it makes higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And everyone, because people are so used to Bitcoin like sweeping the lows and doing all these things, people don't want to bid as it's making these higher lows. They're waiting, it's going to go lower, it's going to sweep. Then it doesn't. And eventually it pushes higher, and that's when they start getting aggressive. And that's when you get the flush. So I see the same pattern of price action playing out over here constantly. We bounce off the lows, we made a higher low, people are waiting for a sweep. We made another higher low, people are waiting for a sweep. Made another higher low, people are waiting for a sweep. Made another one, another one, another one. That's telling me that there's genuine accumulation happening, right? There is demand, but also that the retail, the average person, the traders, whatever, they're not feeling aggressive. They're not willing to actually get long Bitcoin yet, and they will at a certain point, which is why I think it eventually goes like this. when it keeps making these higher lows, don't expect them to get hit, right? When it keeps making those higher lows, don't expect those to get hit. Because when they're getting left, they usually get left until it at least goes higher. All of this build up, I think, will get touched. But this is telling me that the market's going to go up first. That's when people start getting aggressive, and then that's when they get flushed out, right? And then we start again with the higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. To me, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm expecting. Is that going to happen? Maybe, maybe not. But that's how I'm going to play it, and that's my approach currently. So I think we just keep squeezing and pushing and squeezing, and it's not. I'd say if anything, in the near term, I think the shorts are offside a little bit. Powell did that 60-minute speech, which broadly, I read through the whole transcript. I broadly see that as being a lot more dovish than he was on Wednesday, because he was aware that he was talking to the public, to the general public. It was like a TV interview on mainstream media, and he was very much going in with the approach of, don't worry, we're on the right path, inflation's coming down, the economy's great. And then the interviewer asked him, well, why haven't you cut rates? And he's like, oh, we will, don't worry, we're going to, like, very much insisting that they are going to cut rates, which they are. And the market reacting to different pricing, right, pricing in of rates and pricing in when it moves, that's all one thing, but the fact remains the same. Liquidity conditions are good, the market is rising, the market is strong, Bitcoin is in consolidation, stocks are at all-time highs. Stocks can pull back. I don't see it quite just yet, although I'm not as close to the situation as other people. What I see with regards to stocks is a lot of people calling for 4,500, right? Calling for a pullback here on the S&P back to 4,500, which, sure, but we haven't even started to even begin to possibly downtrend yet. So a lot of times this is like premature, right? It's like you're calling for over here, you're calling for a move to 4,100, right? When it's there. And it drops back a bit, it grinds higher for weeks. Then eventually something really does break, where you set a consolidation, you break below it, and then boom, away we go, all the way down to 4,100. So same thing here. It's like people, like 4,500 is super obvious. That it's so clear where price should go. That's so clearly where there should be a higher low form. But price is up. And it's up only. And there's no signs of that yet. So you need to wait for price to form some kind of a base, right? Then actually break that. That would be a change, right? If you formed a base like that and then you broke it, then something would shift. And you could say over here, right, we're going to trend down, we're going to have a squeeze, we're going to make our way down there eventually. But a lot of it is, people when they say that target, when they say 4,200, or 4,500, or when they anchor something, it's all they can think about. That's why price targets are stupid. Because it's not going to go there in one candle. And it's still going up. And the same goes for Bitcoin. All of these type of price targets, obviously, like I'm talking, we can hit 44k, but that's a low time frame trading thing. If you're talking about price targets on Bitcoin, and you're like zooming out, and you're like, yeah, 35k. But how and when? Where does it go to first? If we grind up to 44, 46, 48, it can still go to 35. But is that in your plan? Or are you just saying 35 dogmatically has to go there, 35, 35, 35? So it's always important to remember that. And also understand what's actually happening now in real time. Price is consolidating after a sweep and a reclaim, and it's consolidating in low volatility tightening range. That's a continuation sign. Nothing's bearish about this. I don't get it. To me, it's not bearish at all. Bitcoin is 2 months, 3 months away from the halving, and I think people are already getting themselves prepared. The rest of the market, crypto, like some other altcoins, sure, could be a bit weaker, but I don't see it for Bitcoin personally. So going into the week, constructive. I don't think there's going to be any big like crazy moon mission. I think Bitcoin still broadly trades in a range, consolidates down as low as 40, up as high as 45 probably initially. So I still think the market needs a bit more time to sort itself out before having, a bigger move. But overall everything's looking good. GM. See you later.